Hey guys, so last night I went and saw another double feature. What a shock! I keep doing this. It's for the next few weeks. It'll be getting. I think next week I'll be seeing three movies, so be prepared for that. That's gonna be overkill for me. It's gonna be weird whenever I do only one movie. But this has been a pretty goddamn good week for me. Other than Anton Yelchin passing away, or Yelkin apart, I wanted to say something about that real quick. That sucks. I really liked that kid as an actor. I thought he was a really solid actor. I've seen that kid grow up from I remember him in Hearts and Atlantis, and I ended up liking him in that movie, and I liked him in Alpha Dogs, Green Room. It's just recently as Green Room I fucking saw, and I gave him a lot of praise, and it's tragic, man. Whenever you hear he was a year younger than me, and whenever you hear somebody 27 years old passing away, you go, "Oh, it's drugs." No, how he died fucking sucks. um, that's tragic, man. But other than that, this has been a pretty solid week, man. I've had a really, I've said this in a few reviews that I'm a huge Cavs fan, a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and I live like an hour away from Cleveland. And this has been a big week. If you don't know, Cavs won the championship, and Cleveland ended a 52-year drought. So this has been a big week around here lately. And I was like, all right, how this week's going, I should be able to see two really good movies. One I'm kind of looking forward to, or one I'm not looking forward to that much, but it could be just a fun film. And another one I'm looking forward to a lot. The one I was kind of looking forward to was Independence Day Resurgence, which was the first movie I saw. And Independence Day Resurgence, I liked the first Independence Day. I did. It's a cheesy action movie. It was a dumb as hell movie. It's a guilty pleasure. It's nothing it's a probably the best example I think you can think of as a popcorn flick. And when I heard they're making a sequel, I'm like, really? 20 years later, making a sequel? I mean, I know they've been working on this for a long damn time, but really? Now we're getting a sequel for this? Why 20 years later? Okay, why not? And, I mean, it had Goldblum back in it. It had Bill Pullman. It had Vivica A. Fox. It had a few others. Yeah, it's got Liam Hemsworth. Maybe he'll have a small part. This is my mentality going into the movie. Yeah, it doesn't have Will Smith, but we'll see what happens. God, that movie sucked. I'm just gonna say this right now. That movie sucked. That was a pretty terrible movie. That was a pretty terrible movie. Out of the man, I it just started. It was a perfect way to start off my night last night. Just it set the tone. It set the tone for what was to come later too. I'll get into that in a second in my next review. But this movie was not very good. And I'm not saying that I'll admit the first one's not that great of a movie. But it's also a cheesy enough of a movie that I actually really enjoyed it. This just sucked. This movie is just a movie that sucked badly. Where the hell do I begin? Well, I could go into the stuff I liked. The main cast, the original cast in this movie, that was the original or the cast from the original film that is in this movie, like Bill Pullman, and Jeff Goldblum. I fucking love them both in this movie. They were definitely refreshing to see in this film. Goldblum, you can tell, just doesn't give a flying fuck. He just is in this to get a paycheck. He's pretty much he's basically just phoning it in. If I've ever seen an actor phoning it in before. And even when he's phoning it in, he's still being Goldblum. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's not the greatest actor of all time or anything like that, but I like Jeff Goldblum. He always entertains me. He has his own charm to him, man. I like, and Goldblum's Goldblum in this movie. And Bill Pullman in this movie has PTSD or something like that, like where he's starting to see visions of like the aliens and what they're doing. I don't know if that was something in the movie like that. I don't know if that was addressed in the first movie or not. I actually just watched the first movie in a while, like a little bit of it about a week ago. I don't remember that from the first one, but maybe that was in there. Um, but yeah, like I kind of like that. He's like being crazy Bill Pullman, and it kind of was kind of fun to see him in there. Also, you have the scientist from the first one that runs Area 51, who, who, I like somebody said online. I swear to God, he died in the first one. I'm pretty certain he did. He got strangled to death, and I don't know how. But in this one, he just has been in a coma for 20 years. That's how. That's why he's in this movie. He's been in a coma for 20 years, and he wakes up during the second movie, just coincidentally. Um, that's about it as far as what I liked about this movie. There's two things I can pinpoint as to why I did not like this movie. One is the new cast. Holy shit. Did they get the most bland fucking people I've ever seen in my entire life in this movie? For like Will Smith is dearly missing from this thing. Dearly missing. Like, at least, okay, this is why I was sitting there like for a while after I saw this movie. I was like, why do I like the first one better than this one? And I could easily pinpoint why. At least, yeah, this movie, the first one wasn't very character driven and wasn't about character development and everything else. But I can at least tell you about the main characters of this movie, and kind of describe them to you. These characters in this one, they have no fucking personality. Liam Hemsworth especially does not have a goddamn, like, when one of your leads is Liam Hemsworth, you know you're in fucking trouble. That kid has no personality, never has, never will. His brother is definitely a hell of a lot better. I couldn't even tell you really anything about his character, other than he's married to Bill Pullman's daughter, or engaged to Bill Pullman's daughter. And even that, I wouldn't even, like, he's also has this relationship with Will Smith's son, who they all used to be fighter pilots. Him, Bill Pullman's daughter, and Will Smith's son, and they have some reason. Him and Will Smith's son kind of got in an argument over the past few years, and they don't like each other. And I guess I can get into this. That's another thing about this movie. I felt like that this was a third movie in a trilogy, and I missed the second movie. That's the best way I can describe it, if that makes any sense. This movie felt like there was another movie, there was another movie, like, in this franchise that I missed that explained a lot of these characters and introduced these characters, because really these characters are not really introduced. You're just supposed to know who they are and know their relationships to each other and just accept it. It's like, these are all brand new characters. They're not characters that were established in the first one. As far as I know, I don't think I remember ever seeing Will Smith's son and Bill Pullman's daughter in the first one have scenes together. I might be wrong, but apparently they do. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on? Like, and honestly, unless I didn't know going in that they were who they were, like, I would have never guessed it. Never. Never would have. Like, it just briefly, like, offhandedly mentioned that, oh, yeah, this is Bill Pullman's daughter, and this is, who was in the first one, and the Will Smith's son, all grown up. And you're like, okay. Okay. And like I said, if I didn't know that going in, I wouldn't have put that two and two together, really. Jesus Christ, man. Like I said, it felt like a whole movie was missing somewhere. Like, that actually explained these characters and kind of give a bit of a backstory, because you really don't, other than that, maybe that Liam Hemsworth is an orphan or something like that. I don't know. I God, this movie is character's terrible. Like I said, Will Smith is missing from this movie. I'm like, don't make it Independence Day 2 if you don't get fucking Will Smith. Come on, man. Like, he was one of the best things about that movie. He had a personality. None of these guys have personality. His son definitely does not have personality whatsoever, man. Like, this is that kills it for me. That movie, it really killed it for me. Um, this is the second other thing. If you want to wonder what the second thing that I didn't like about this movie, it was like I said, the whole movie was missing. It felt like a whole movie was missing. Um, Also, there's like these kids that pop up halfway through the movie out of nowhere and are driving down the roads, like trying to find or trying to get out of the city or something like that. They come across Jeff Goldblum's dad, who is kind of fun in that movie. He is fun, but it was like, what the fuck? Who the hell are these kids? Like, it's like these kids are like, we're supposed to know who they are. And, like, they don't really give us an introduction. They just throw them in there and go, here you go, you know who these kids are. I'm like, no, they don't. No, I don't. Who the fuck are these kids? Why do I care? Also, what the fuck was up with that John Oliver? That guy who looks like, I swear to God, looked like John Oliver, who kept following Goldblum around the whole movie and is like the comedic relief who keeps asking the Ugandan warlord how to kill an alien and stuff, and they keep cutting to him, and I'm like, what is up with this guy? Why does he look like John Oliver? Am I the only one who thinks he looks like John Oliver? I was like, is John Oliver in this movie? If he was, I probably would give this movie a little bit more of a pass. Because John Oliver but he would probably give a little bit more of a shit in this movie. You also have the goofy sidekick to Liam Hemsworth that was so fucking forgettable, who has a love story somewhat with the Chinese pilot who, God, they don't, her character's not even given any fucking, like, yeah, and like I said, I know none of the characters in the first one were given that much of development, but fuck, they were given more development than these characters. A lot more. Like, I kind of gave more of a shit about those characters than I did in this one. It also helped that the actors that were playing them were actors that had fucking personality, or that were likable. Gave us a reason to like them. God, this movie sucked. It sucked so bad. And the aliens look stupid in this. They've changed the way they look a little bit, and it's obvious CGI. Like, the first one used a lot of animatronics, practical effects. Also, kind of did a lot of when they would explode stuff. In the first one, they did a lot of, like, if you watch a lot of the explosions from the first one, they are really impressive to this day. And like they would use like a lot of miniatures and stuff like that, and it still looks pretty cool. And this one, it just looks fake looking, and the aliens are terrible looking. Like, oh god, they look terrible. And this movie also decides to rip off aliens for some reason. Like, they have a queen alien. I'm like, really? It's like, now you're ripping off the aliens? Fuck you, you're no aliens, man. Man, I don't mind Roland Emmerich. He has a niche at making these disaster movies, but man, this movie sucked. It was not very good. I don't recommend it. Go watch the first one. It's a lot better. And like I said, even though the first one's not that great, it's a far superior film to this. Yeah, don't see this. As far as trailers go, I'm surprised I didn't get like a lot new trailers, but I got a few of them, not too much. Where the hell are they? Give me a second. Keeping Up with the Joneses. It's easy for me to say. It's who's it? Zach Galifianakis, and who's that? His wife. I forget what his wife is, or his wife. Shit. I cannot remember now. Is it Elsa Fisher? Yeah, I think it's Elsa Fisher playing his wife. And these this perfect married couple played by John Hamm and Gal Gadot move right in next door, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with this family. They're like, why are they so perfect? Like, what's their secret? And they might be CIA spies or something. I don't know. Whatever. It didn't it looked alright. Zach Galifianakis, holy shit, has he lost a lot of weight? I did not realize he lost a lot of weight, and he has. He looks good, man. Good for him, man. I wish I had lost a lot of weight. He looks skinny as hell, and it kind of looks weird nowadays. It's like Jonah Hill being skinny. It's really weird and alarming. And also, we get a new trailer for Inferno. Um, I don't know why we're making another Da Vinci Code. I don't think there was another. There was a like a demand for a sequel to Da Vinci Code. I didn't really. I mean, I know there's other books that. Yeah, this is based off another book that Dan Brown wrote, but was there a real high demand for this? I don't know why this late are we getting this sequel. I don't know. It looks all right. It's about the plague, or Tom Hanks trying to stop the release of the plague, or something like that. That's all I could get the gist out of it. And it's being directed again by Ron Howard. I like Da Vinci Code. I thought it was all right. I know a lot of people hate it. Mostly what I remember is the controversy surrounding it. That's about it. And Angels and Demons was all right. That was forgettable, but yeah. One reason I mainly remember Da Vinci Code is because of the controversy, and that's about it. This just looks, that's basically it. That's as far as trailers go. I'll be back with my other review here shortly.